From Digital Thunderdome Productions, Scott Hansen, who's been making movies around here and L.A. and back to here and bouncing around for a long time. Dude, it's good to see you.
You too. Thanks for having me.
Oh, thanks for coming down. You can back that out. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. Scott is a filmmaker. In fact, we first met you when you made that Doritos commercial.
Yeah.
Did you win? You won that, right? We finished in the finals?
Yeah, we got like top 10. We didn't win it, and then it was the Pepsi one right after that. Yeah, so we got pretty close, but
yeah, you did really well with that stuff.
Yeah, thanks.
But that gave you a chance to
led to other things.
Yeah,
definitely.
Did anybody ever see that stuff and then offer to help you with your career or
a little bit? Yeah,
a little bit.
Got some exposure and got
opened some doors.
Yeah,
and stuff?
Some music video stuff.
Yeah, like for a metal band.
Yeah,
yes.
totally.
I saw that one. I remember. Who was it? Which band was it?
Shelley latched onto that.
I forget now.
It was one of those carnivorous bands.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
Well, take a second and try and give us a synopsis. You've worked on this new film. It's called Until It Hurts, and it's a documentary.
Yep, it's a documentary. It's a different take. It's a military documentary on a piece of art. So, a retired Navy SEAL, Dave Hall, he wanted to commemorate the SEAL brothers he's lost in battle.
Sure.
And he, in commemoration, he shot a target 911 yards, and the target became a piece of art. So it's this 10-foot piece of art now, and the art became famous. And Todd Grubbs, who actually purchased the art at a Wounded War event, came to us, and we decided we wanted to make a documentary and tell the story about
this artwork and all the lives that crisscross and. Now, I've seen the trailer. You sent the trailer over here a few weeks ago, I guess it was, and I saw that, and I just thought, wow, we have to do something with this. It's remarkable. It's very powerful.
It's very moving and controversial, and it's definitely hitting a vein, and it's just trying to bridge the gap with the civilian population and the military population, and then that disconnect.
Yeah,
especially that was kind of portrayed in like American Sniper.
Well, that I was going to go there because that trial is wrapping up.
Yeah,
the whole Chris Kyle, the guy that shot him.
It's wild.
Yeah, to see what it's been very controversial, that film, but also apparently America wants to know, because I've twice gone to the theater and been rejected. You can't even get in the place still.
Yeah, it's approaching 400 million, and it's going to be the second highest grossing R-rated film of all time, actually.
That's amazing. Now, as a filmmaker, when you make a movie, they know that most of them don't want to get an R.
Right, yeah.
If we could get a PG-13...
that's the money all the way.
That's the money, right.
Yeah, R is definitely going to cut everything
and to
out.
do this well. But you know what? Given the subject matter, and if you're going to do it justice, you're going to need to go there.
Yeah, definitely.
That would be my thought.
You have to.
Now, introduce your friends here.
Dirk is our composer on the film, and he actually flew in from Germany last night.
Is that right? Wow, welcome.
Nice to have you.
Yeah.
Nice to be here.
Enjoy the nice weather we got for you, brother.
Yeah. Already experienced that.
Yeah. Gets off the plane. He's like, oh, Virginia, man. I brought my shorts. I got my flip-flops. By the ocean. Going to be great.
Right.
And then Jay?
Yeah, and this is Jay Keeley. He's actually featured in the film.
Who I knew I recognized you when I walked in here, and your dad was a Navy SEAL, yeah?
Yes, my dad was Dan Healy, Senior Chief Petty Officer. He was killed in 2005 during Operation Red Wings when his helicopter was shot down in a rescue mission, which was portrayed in the movie Lone Survivor.
Yeah, a movie that I saw, and the story that sadly I know, from sitting in this perch for 20 years and doing the news and talking with Shelley about it and everything else. So how difficult, I guess, when you explain this film, how difficult is it to find people that want to tell their story? Do they want to tell their stories?
Sometimes yes, and a lot of times no. And it's that Navy SEAL life is totally different.
That was my point.
Yeah.
People want to be heard because they're their loved ones and they're proud of them, but they also understand that there's a certain amount of security and
emotional distress from coming back,
Right.
You know, from that side, and
Were there any issues with the actual Navy in making this movie?
no, that everybody was pretty. They went through everything pretty good so far, you know.
Yeah.
And we actually had the author of American Sniper give us a review, incredible review. He's pushing it to HBO right now for us. Scott McEwen.
Sure.
He authored that, and we got that 2 days ago, actually. So that was pretty.
Wow, that's
amazing.
awesome. So the premise is Dave Hall, who's a retired sniper,
Yep.
sets out on 9/11
Yeah.
from 911 yards, shoots a target 79 times, if I remember,
Yep.
to commemorate each of his fallen brothers.
Yep. Yeah.
This target gets sold as a piece of artwork when it's made into like a collage with newspapers and stuff from all the years since 9/11, which
Yeah.
is really the catalyst for all of this.
Correct.
Right.
And then that somehow turns into the story of each of these people's lives or their surviving families' lives.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Kind of. It's. They're obviously you can't tell every story on there. With
Sure.
79 people, but
Yeah.
most of the people are from here, so it was perfect to jump on since it's like a very Virginia Beach
Oh my gosh.
military town. I mean, a lot of the SEAL teams are here, anyways.
Yep.
So it was to do it in this area is like very heartfelt, you know. So
Undoubtedly. So you have a lot of support. There's a lot of support locally.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, and Jake, you're from San Diego.
Right.
Same thing.
Yeah, and it's
Another
actually-
town that I've lived in, by the way.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually a funny story because I was living in San Diego. I just graduated from college at the time,
Mhm.
and I saw Until It Hurts on Facebook. The art itself, it had a Facebook page, and I liked it, and I'd seen that there was talk about a movie, and I just liked the page, and the producer, Todd Grubbs, actually reached out to me and said, "Are you Jake Healy? Are you the son of Dan Healy?" And I said yes, and he was like, "I'd like you to be a part of what we have going on. We're about 75% through the film, but would you be interested in participating?" And I was like, "Sign me up. Anything to do with commemorating my father and honoring his legacy is like,
How old were you?
at the time I was 22.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you I mean, you had your dad obviously for 22 years off and
sorry.
on.
No, I was 15.
That's what I'm trying to
when
figure out.
I
Oh,
lost
okay,
him.
when he
Yeah,
passed.
15.
I apologize.
Yeah.
I wasn't clear about that. So by 15 you kind of know, you had a sense of what he did.
Right. Yeah, it was an interesting relationship growing up. I would never have guessed, what my father was doing. At home he was a family man,
Mm-hmm.
and there were different things. We'd wrestle a little bit harder than my friends would with their parents.
Son, I'm going to show you something.
Yeah.
Anybody ever grabs you like this, you take his arm off like this.
Yeah. And we'd grapple a ton and play chess till 3 a.m. every morning.
Yeah.
He really wanted to teach me like discipline and hard work and achieving and perseverance early on. And looking back, I'm like, wow, I was a 15-year-old with a really good sense of virtues, and I'm incredibly thankful to my dad for that.
Sure. And as a parent, especially if you're going to be, coming and going, you're trying to distill your parenting into these moments that we have together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
From a father's viewpoint too. It's just like, wow, I've got to get this message through.
Yep.
Because I'm leaving again, and I want to make sure that
Right.
my
Yeah.
guy knows what to do.
Absolutely. I mean, that was one thing, as the son of a Navy SEAL, sometimes there were years where I only saw my dad 2 weeks out of the entire year, because he would spend extensive time, like he was fluent in Russian, so he had to learn Russian in a year.
Wow.
And that meant he got to see his family for less than a month. And it just went on and on like that year after year. And it was like, it's kind of ironic because the year that he was deploying to Afghanistan in 05, he had bought a house back in San Diego. He was in Hawaii at the time. He had been there for 8 years. So it was like, we kind of saw the light at the end of the road.
Right. We're gonna slow down.
Yeah.
We're gonna drop an anchor. We're gonna.
Right. And I was playing football. I was playing lacrosse, and
Oh, cool.
and my dad was looking forward to coming and finally seeing one of my high school football games. And during that deployment, I was I had just finished Hell Week. We were going back and forth, and he died just after Hell Week, and it was just, you know, it was an interesting point in my life to try and figure out how I was going to overcome that. You know,
And you had just overcome the Hell Weekend for yourself.
Right,
Yeah.
and he actually got me through that. One of his last emails to me was all about, you know, making first impressions, never giving up, and just giving everything your all, because you might only get one chance. And you know, that was Father's Day, and then a week later he was dead.
Lord, what a quality thing! What a quality thing! What a quality guy! And you talk about again that trying to distill that, you know, your parenting moments in those times, and the what we ask of these guys. You know, we really need to reconsider how we deploy people, and there's a lot of politicking that goes on around that, but you just keep asking people to keep going back and keep going back. That seems unfair.
Yeah.
As much, and you know what, and the guys do it. That's the thing, they do it.
Yeah.
And what you said about your pop, you know, he's at home, he's your dad.
Yeah.
But these guys are pros.
And to what you said, I mean, it was 2004, so you know, over a decade ago, but I can truly tell you the perception hasn't changed much. These guys are warriors at heart, and my dad had been wanting to go over since 9/11. So, I mean, he was you know, his duties required him elsewhere, training and stuff like that.
Right.
But he really wanted to go out there and defend his country and fight for every citizen over here. So
Sure. Well, it's great that you can be a part of this, and through this can you know, give your dad some love, give him a little more love here. The movie debuts tomorrow night.
Yep, tomorrow at Nauticus. 7 p.m. is sold out right now, but 9 p.m. there's still some tickets available.
Great. In fact, you know what? 366-99.99. Next 5 people to call get a pair of tickets for the 9 o'clock show down at Nauticus tomorrow night. The movie is called Until It Hurts, a documentary about how all of these different Navy SEAL family lives come together in this work of art. That's really cool. Really, really cool. Guys, it's great having you up here this morning. Thanks very much for coming by. We really appreciate it, Scott. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right. It's 9:51. We'll catch a break. We'll come back and do leftovers next.
You're listening to Rumble in the Morning on FM 99.